So living abroad, some of the things that people don't tell you is what are the things that they kind of don't like there. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things I do not like living in Lusaka, Zambia. And so let's go ahead and get into it. Jason, if you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me as I'm settling down here in Africa, and also been sharing with you relationship advice that I learned over my 15-year relationship that I had. And most importantly, I'm just trying to just help people who want to understand, like, you know, if you're looking into doing the nomad living, like how it is and what it's looking like for me. So today I wanted to talk about 3 things I don't necessarily like about Lusaka, Zambia. And the first thing is, and this is going to be probably one of the hardest ones for anybody coming from the United States, Canada, or the UK to adjust to, and that's load shedding. If you're not familiar with load shedding means, that's when the power actually goes off for a certain amount of time, depending on the schedule of the country or the city that you're living in. Currently here in Lusaka, Zambia, because they went through a really bad drought this year, and I think the major water source they used for their dam dried up or dried to low, severe levels. And plus the maize crop was really devastated this year, which was sad for a lot of farmers. We're facing really bad load shedding. Right now, it is about anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day, depending on where you live in. And I can tell you, for me personally, I've had at least 2 days out of maybe like 5 months where I had no electricity just about the entire day. It may have came on sporadically, but by the time you could get anything done, it went back off. And it sucks, man. I'm going to be real with you. It's very inconvenient. It's hard to do things around it sometimes, but like, it's a way of life. It's one of the problems that exist in certain parts of Africa. I have experienced it in South Africa, so it got me really used to it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in South Africa, I got stuck in the lift a few times. And imagine you living on the 17th floor. That's pretty traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie to you. So here, knowing that I'm on the ground floor, I'm just in my house and it's just extremely dark. It is annoying, man. And especially as someone, like, I do content creation, I still have some online businesses and things I usually like to do online. It really gets in the way. And even now, as I'm filming this video, there's no electricity just came back, I'm sorry. But I didn't have electricity all this morning. Lately, I have been having it at night, but I can't say this is everyone experiencing the same thing, because, you know, sometimes some areas get worse treatment than others. And so that is one of the things, if you're considering moving to at least Zambia or some parts of Africa, you want to look into see how that is, the load shedding, how severe it is. Now, I've been told, like right now, South Africa has not had any problems for like 6 or 7 months, I believe. Some people in Rwanda told me they don't have an issue. And a couple other places, people say they're not having a big issue. Oh, Botswana also. Botswana, I never experienced load shedding there. So if you are looking to become an expat, that's one of the things you really need to look into, is like, what is the electrical stability of the country that you're going to? I didn't experience it in Central and South America, but I have experienced it here in Africa. So I just want to be transparent about that. But I'll be honest with you, it's annoying, mainly because I like to cook. So I like my meals cooked, warmed up. I'm not a big takeaway eater anymore. So if you're someone who probably eat takeaway and you're not really concerned about cooking things, it may not bother you as much. One of my workarounds on this one is I have like little USB rechargeable lights. I have like 2 over here. I have 2 that I keep in the kitchen. And so if the electricity go out and it's nighttime, I just cut those on, and that gives me more than enough lights to make it through the night if I need them. And also I have an UPS that I paid for. I think it cost me like $40. And there's enough power there to keep my internet charged when electricity goes if I need it, and to run a USB light. I'm still looking for bigger UPS that can run my computer for a couple of hours. And once I do find that, I'll do a video and explain it to you so you'll know how good it works and things like that. But that's with the load shedding, there is a workaround, depending on how much money you're willing to spend and what you necessarily need to be comfortable. Because you can buy solar systems. They have full home inverters, generators. You have everything to your touch, to your beck and call if you need it. Just depending on what you're willing to spend and how much comfort you need on that one. Second thing I would say is, and this applies just for me mostly, it may not apply for you, it's not the most vegan friendly country to go to. So, and I'm kind of glad for it because it limits me from eating out. I'm one of those, I'm wanting to get my health back. I'm trying to start focusing on me, getting back in shape, because I don't like how I let myself go over these last 2 years. And so most of the restaurants here are meat-centric restaurants. Usually, the only thing I can order is chips or French fries for my Americans. And so, honestly, I'm just bored of eating out. I do have like 2 places that I can go to and get like 3 or 4 things that are vegan, but there's not like a plethora of vegan restaurants like South Africa. South Africa spoiled me because everything you want is there. So if you're needing more of the up-to-date restaurants or your eating lifestyle is very regimented in a certain way, this may not be the best space for you. But like I will say, South Africa gives you all of those accommodations that don't exist here. Another thing with it, I think it creates, the way I'm looking at Zambia also is these shortages of what I see, the things that kind of inconvenience me, especially with the restaurant not really catering to vegan. It gives me an opportunity to maybe start opening up my own vegan restaurants, something that I wanted to do in the US, but it was just out of reach as far as affordability. So to be able to have that opportunity is kind of like a curse and a blessing at the same time. And then the third thing that I personally do not care for about Lusaka, Zambia, is the layout of the city. It's just traffic congestion. Like there's not many ways in and out. And so you don't have many different routes you can take to get somewhere. And it just creates, in my opinion, just an unnecessary traffic congestion. And any small thing can really throw off how fast your day of where you're going, especially from where I am to getting into town. Like I can tell you this, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was in a Yango, which is the version of Uber here. It's a Russian version of Uber. And I was in the Yango and we just hit traffic on Great East Road right before we hit the hybrid roundabout. And for my people in Lusaka, you know what I'm talking about. For my Americans, I'm just giving a little reference to where I'm going. And it took 2 hours to get from there to Levy Hospital. And it was all because they were having a graduation ceremony that morning. And people, you know, congestion of people going to see their family graduate. And they were just looking for parking space. Like something as simple as that made a 2-hour delay. And like the layout of the city, it's as if they didn't design it in the anticipation of so many people coming to Lusaka for opportunity. And now from the looks of it, it's just overpopulated to where it's harder to build out its infrastructure in a more orderly manner. And so without being a huge, huge inconvenience. And like if you're from Dallas, Texas, remember when they first started working on Central back in the early 90s or mid 90s? Like it was horrible getting back and forth from Central, man, Central Expressway. And that's what it kind of is out here in Lusaka. Like if they really put in an effort to try to expand and organize its roadways, man, I think it would probably take a day just to get it from some parts to town, just because it'd be such a congestion. And there's just not really many detours and different routes to get around. It's a beautiful thing because if you're someone like me who's looking for land, but if you're liking that city vibe, that kind of faster paced life, like it slows things down a lot just from how unorderly it is. And it creates chaos points, especially when you're going around certain parts of town, the market, all of that, because it's like you're trying to walk, you're trying to shop, people trying to talk to you, and then there's cars driving. It's a lot. And I think if they ever build a second major city here, if they just really worked on the layout and the order, it would be amazing because the potential is really here in Lusaka. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it has the potential to be a huge, big city, like with all the trendy restaurants, with all of the new up and coming things, all of that. You can see that it's here is just that orderly and that organization and that just getting it down packed. It just the way the layout is, it just messes a lot of things up. So I would really love to see them build another big city here and just really work on the planning of it and get it down packed. Like have an industrial district, have a finance district, have those different districts, and have like your CBD like really upscale and nice. But other than that, those are really the big things about Lusaka, Zambia that I personally don't care for right now. Let me know what you think about those three things. Are those three deal breakers for you if you're coming and you're looking to be an expat? Or what are the things that you would be looking for so I can start looking for them and tell you if it's a problem or not? But have a great day, and just remember this. I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.